Whoever knows about it, whether it's local authority or social services, and they all put lid on it. It doesn't come out to community, it doesn't come up to people like us, it doesn't come up to imams very openly that this issue is in Aylesbury.
And you are very lucky that you've got a very good relationship with your daughters. And I hope there are more dads like you in this town, because they are not. You are one in God knows how many, and I know that. I know, how close you are with your daughters, but there are many men who are not. And believe me, I don't joke about things. Thank you.
When it comes to forced marriage, it's not always your mother that's forcing you. She's very sympathetic. She doesn't want her children to be forcibly married and so on. I've noticed it's more so the fathers because of certain traditions and everything. I mean, what I want to ask Imam Dian, is there any possible way, because I have not seen any fathers come today, to be honest, is there any possible way where the mosque or any Islamic institute can educate our fathers? Because our mothers are, if anything, quite scared to go against their decision.
And I'm also at pains at telling the young men coming to me and the young women coming to me complaining of forced marriages. I tell them, your parents have done a lot for you in terms of financial support. It may be emotional support too. That does not mean that you should give in your rights. That is part of their duty. And as part of the duty of the imam, the leader of the community, he is one who guides them. The core imam's duty is to bring about a safe and secure environment for each to look at one another with respect and honor, and bring about cohesion and understanding. For the men, yes, mostly you will be at the mosque. For the women, there are public address systems where they can understand their religion and their rights at home. But that shouldn't be solely it. Just as the men have equal right to the mosque, so do women have that too. Again, social bounds and social restriction and domestic situation forces a woman to stay at home looking after the children while the men go out to win the bread or go to the mosque. But other avenues can be approached. It's the imam's duty really to ensure that Friday sermons, they convey the duties towards the closer community, that's the family, and to the wider community, their duties and their rights.
And deep down to heart, I am totally against the deep, forced marriage, because it's not in Islam, not in Pakistan. And those minority are doing it, we need to put stop to it. How are we going to do it? The way is to make it more mediable, more so the message can go out. We've got 20 or 50 people in there. There's thousands of community out in there. Majority of them didn't touch to come in. This message probably won't go to them. So those are who are actually causing this, is to put labels on majority of Asian community. I think those minorities should be broadly more visible, so the impact can be made to stop this happening further. But once in marriages happen, a child life is spoiled. All they can do is sit in the corner and cry. We've got to do this, that before the marriage taken place, how can they be brave enough, or can they be encouraged to come out and speak and put stop it at the right time?
It is a social control, not just Islam, but any religion is a social control element, and it's a tool that can be used to enforce the view of the majority. I'm sure a person without a religion, without any kind of backing of any particular religion, has social and moral etiquette, will say it's wrong. Religion is just enforcing that. It's not adding a personal view on it. It's just enforcing, yes, from a religion point, you're a Muslim, yes, you're a Hindu, you're a Buddhist, you're a Christian, whoever you are, if we morally have no religion, and I'm morally saying it's wrong, but all morality is from religion, so why aren't you saying it's wrong? I understand why you say what you say. We've got that tool, religion, a social control tool, which we can use as an aid. So we will approach a Muslim and say, look, does your religion condone this? No. What about you, Hindu? Does your religion condone this? No. So these are, again, multi-faith agencies as well as multi-agency approach which we need to apply. And you are right, it's not only an Islamic problem. It is a cultural problem, yes, which has culture and religion has somewhat married one another, a forced marriage of the twain. Yeah? Culture and religion, we need to separate these two as well.
So do you think that other religious views or other cultures should be aware? Because it used to even be in England, you know, this, you know, is still in the higher hierarchy of, in like the Queensland, you still have to have maybe a religious view of your parents. Should we just be saying it's just an Islamic family, or should we be having a look at a wider view and not be imposing our religious views on, you know, a majority view that we can't really say what's happening?
Well, the reason whatsoever, because for example, we have, through my own research, I have seen quite a lot of Sikh girls and boys pushed into these kind of marriages. And Hindus, absolutely no question about that. And interestingly enough, Orthodox Jewish families, we suspect, I haven't found yet, because in Luton they are not in large numbers. But I was told by some of my other researcher colleagues that in Orthodox Jewish families this might be happening. We don't know. And so they can be used as well. In multi-agency approaches, all kinds of tools and apparatus should be used to prevent these things from happening. But you are absolutely right, this is not a religious thing. And just to sort of disagree with the Imam a little bit, it's not even a cultural thing. I wouldn't believe that anybody's culture should have abusive practices, because if you are from Pakistan and you have a Pakistani culture, and then you say that quite a lot of Pakistanis are carrying out forced marriages, I don't believe it's part of their culture. It's part of those families where patriarchal family structure and control system is such that they force certain things on younger people. And that has nothing to do with the culture of that country, or even that country as a whole. Similarly, I come from Bangladesh, and I will never believe it's part of my culture in Bangladesh, never.
I know you say you've got all these organisations to help these girls, and like, you know, the police, the social services, everything. But as you know, in the Asian society, it's a deep-rooted problem. So I know you might help a lot of people, but I'm sure there's 80% of girls and boys out there who we're not getting to. How are we going to get to them? And don't you think we should actually be educating the Pakistani community? And, you know, like, we've got all these westernised people here that are actually educated to help us. I'm a person who was in an arranged marriage. I've got daughters now, so it will come up at some point. I've come to Aylesbury and I see culture really strongly here. It actually overtakes the religion, and people back off. Like they were saying, they couldn't get through to the Imam. Well, obviously he didn't want to give his opinion, because his opinion, if he's from Pakistan or if he's Asian, he's not going to want us to get our daughters married in this country. They're going to want everybody coming over in this country, and I'm disgusted as a parent. And I stand up for my daughters and for any other daughters out there who want any help. But don't you think that we should be tackling this on, like, tackling with the public, the community? It's them that we need to get to educate the parents who are actually bringing kids up in this country, even though they've got school, as if we're living in Pakistan, and we're not.
You will be hopeful that something is happening. And then the education about the law of this country is important as well, because many of these
they don't know the
parents
consequences
are living a parallel life, as it were, because they don't know they are breaking the law.